for what you're talking about, that sounds like a great value for providing helpful tools to these people that need it. Created some statements of this is who I am, and but also at the same time don't create statements that I am not, because when you focus on the, like, your brain will focus on the not stuff, and it's like reverse psychology. So right. I am this, or I will do this, or that sort of thing. And if you just continue to repeat those, it works. It's powerful. It's a real thing. Some people are like, oh, that's hokey, fairy stuff. It's like, no, it's legit, like real. This is like program.
It is real. And when I'm helping people create sentences, I always like them to be present tense and active words. So like, instead of saying I will heal someday, I would say I am in the process of healing, or every day I'm more healed. Because if you say I will heal someday, well, when is someday? Yeah. Someday could be 3 weeks from now or 30 years from now. If you don't give your brain the actual, think of it as a computer, and you have to give it very literal instructions. That's how you have to phrase it. But yeah, it's so powerful. And these skills and these tools, if you learn them because you're grieving, to your point, my life is unrecognizable from before the losses because I have learned these things and adopted these things and applied these things to every area of my life. So like, I always tell people when you're grieving, like, you didn't ask for this situation, but if you will learn these things because of this situation, these things you learn will serve you well the rest of your life, even on the other side of grief. And you can design a life that you never thought possible, or that you actually enjoy living, and that's what's available to everybody.
That's awesome. Love it. So now I like your standpoint, because you're being a grief coach, you're giving people like practical tools, which therapists give people tools too, right? That's not to say that they don't, but you're giving them like real practical tools from your school of hard knocks that you went through, right? What you've learned because you've been through it, which is a unique perspective on things. I like how you mentioned, I don't want to talk to a therapist because they haven't been through what I've been through, and that's a true statement, right? Like they have, and now professionally they've kind of studied this in school, right? And they have other clients that they do that with. But what if somebody can't, because therapists are expensive, what if somebody can't afford professional therapy? Like, do you have some kind of resources or obviously I know you have a YouTube channel and you have a lot of free content on your YouTube channel. Are there any good, kind of free resources for someone to, because you need to deal with it, right? You can't just bury it, right? You have to deal with it, whether you do that professionally and pay someone to help you, or you seek resources. Do you have, recommendations on some resources they could utilize?
Yeah, for sure. And that actually is an agreement I made with God when I kind of was tasked with this assignment. I made a commitment to him that anybody that would cross my path would be left without excuse, that we will give every resource and tool to learn how to use these skills to recover from grief so that people can be walking in the fullness of healing. So yes, we do have a YouTube channel, and I think there's like 100 and some videos. So you can watch so many videos. We have a free Facebook group where we go in there sometimes, and it's a community of people who are learning these things together. But also, I'm a big book reader. I'm always reading books. I'm always researching more. And I do have some, so that's, very low cost. Even like, my book, You're Not Crazy, You're Grieving. The first half of the book is my story, but the second half of the book is literally written out the five-stage process that we walk people through for healing. And if you're a reader and you can apply the stuff yourself and hold yourself accountable, there's everything you need in that book to recover, right? And there are other good books out there. I think just become a student of grief. And my thing is like, keep looking until you find the tool, the teacher, or the community that's right for you, and then keep working it until it works. Like when you find the thing that resonates with you, that makes sense to you, practice and practice and practice until you figure it out and you find the healing and freedom that is available for you. And then we do have a monthly membership, because I know, like, I'm a coach, right? And we work with clients one-on-one, and we do small group coaching, which is a little bit higher investment. And I know not everybody's in the place to do that. So we created a monthly membership, kind of a la carte, sort of do-it-yourself thing. So you get access to a lot of videos and worksheets, and then we just have a weekly group call for all the people in the membership. So it's not one-on-one, but it's the same powerful information, and there is a weekly call that you can hop on and get real-time instruction from one of our coaches or whatever. And so for me, and that ranges from $25 a month to $97 a month, depending on what level of support you want. And that was kind of my solution to being able to make this accessible to anyone that wants to learn, how to do it and how to apply it.
And that's still less than, even at your highest, right? That's still less than what it would cost you to go to a therapist per session. I mean, it's $100 and something a session nowadays.
Yeah, and even your copay. Yeah, like our $97 version of the membership, which I probably should increase it, honestly, but whatever, because the $97 version, you get the weekly calls with everybody, but then you actually get 2 one-on-one calls, 30-minute calls with one of our coaches. So if you're stuck, if you're confused, if you're having just a bad day, you have access to 2 30-minute calls one-on-one with a coach per month, which is crazy. Yeah, like even copays with traditional counseling would be more expensive than that. So yeah.
And now that you mentioned, I mean, I was thinking about it. I did some counseling. Our journey was a little unique in the death of our son, in that, he had gotten a diagnosis with brain cancer, and it was a terminal diagnosis. We knew he was going to pass away. So like a lot of my processing happened before he passed away, and went through counseling before he passed away, and did that for a number of months. And I mean, it was paying, $150 a month or something like that. And, I could process it under insurance, I think, but I think we just paid out of pocket for it. And we put our kids in counseling too, our oldest son to go through that. And, so we're paying a lot of money in counseling. So for what you're talking about, that sounds like a great value for providing, helpful tools to these people that need it. So.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me. Like, it's recovery. It's not support, it's recovery. And there's difference, right? And so I always say I'm like a physical therapist for people who are grieving. Like, I'm here to teach you to re-engage those muscles and teach you how to do the exercises that are going to get you back to a place of strength. And that's what's needed at some point, right? Like, we need support when it first happens, but at some point we need to transition from support to recovery. And that's what we do. So
that's awesome. I love it.